Jaclyn. I am a student and group fitness instructor at Red Rocks Community College. And today I'll be leading you through a gentle yoga class. So that means it will be a standard vinyasa practice where we transition from pose to pose pretty fluidly. But this will be slower paced and very grounding. So we'll actually have very few standing poses today, just a couple sprinkled in. So this practice is great if you are looking for something a little more easeful, a little more restful. So to begin, you don't need any props for today. If you have yoga blocks, please feel free to use them. And we'll begin in a comfortable seated posture. It can feel really nice to sit up on a pillow, a yoga block if you have it, a stack of books. And really you want your hips to be at the same height or higher than your knees. So if sitting like this isn't quite comfortable, consider finding something else to sit up on, or you can even sit on a chair to begin. Another option for your beginning seated posture is to sit back on your heels if that's more comfortable for you. So take a moment and get adjusted and come to a seat where you can sit very tall. Please bring your palms to rest face down on your thighs or on your knees. And I'll invite you to close your eyes. And take a moment to notice how you feel. If you're a little achy, a little tired, maybe you're feeling energetic, there's no right or wrong answer. And if you're seated with your hips on something, floor, block, books, take a moment to rock back and forth and just notice the sensation of your hip bones pressing into the floor. Let your hips feel supported. From there, come to a tall spine. Reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. And we'll settle in here. You can keep your hands where they are, or I'll invite you to bring one hand to your stomach and one hand to your chest. If you prefer having your eyes open, maybe you bring your gaze just a couple feet in front of you at the floor. Remember, keep the chin pretty parallel to the ground, but just use your eyes to gaze down in front of you. Crown of the head is still reaching tall. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth side out. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth to let it go. From here, we'll close the mouth and breathe in and out of the nose. Come to a complete exhale. Maybe you draw your belly button back towards your spine to empty out completely. And as you inhale, fill the belly with breath, then the ribs, then the chest. And as you exhale, let the chest fall, then the ribs, then the belly button pulls back. Inhale, fill the belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhale, empty the chest, the ribs, the belly button pulls back. Continue just like that, breathing in for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Take 2 more cycles just like that at your own pace. Enjoy the rise and fall of your hands as you breathe. With every inhale, imagine you could grow a little taller. And with every exhale, feel your hips grounding the surface that you're on even more. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. And on your inhale, reach your arms out and up. Sweep your biceps by your ears, fingertips reaching for the sky. And as you exhale, twist to your right. Left hand will come to the outside of the right knee. Left hand will reach behind you. Be mindful not to curve the back so you're leaning backwards. See if you can draw the belly button in and still stack shoulders over hips, even in this twist. If your neck feels okay, maybe you gaze over your right shoulder. As you exhale, maybe you use a little bit of leverage with that left hand to pull into that right leg to gently help you twist deeper. On your inhale, unwind, sweep both arms overhead. Exhale, twist left. Right hand to the outside of the left knee or thigh. Left fingertips behind you. Crown of the head reaching tall. Take a few rounds of breath, and maybe with every exhale, you twist just a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, release arms by your side. From here, right fingertips extend to the outside of that right hip. On your inhale, left arm sweeps up and over. You can bend in that right elbow as you lengthen through the left side body. See if you can keep that arm straight. Palm faces the floor. And you can even press your hand into the floor and away from you to help root down in that left sitting bone. Inhale to come through center. This time, left fingertips to the floor. Inhale, right arm sweeps up and over. Maybe you bend through the left arm. Lengthen the right side body. This doesn't have to be a deep side bend, right? It can just be an inch or two. But if you feel open, you can bend that left arm deeper to get more of a stretch. Inhale to come through center. And we'll move into a neck stretch. So I'll ask you to interlace your hands just like this, but behind your back. So interlacing your fingers, heels of the hands are touching. Make sure the shoulder heads aren't rolling forward. Can you broaden the collarbones, roll the shoulder heads back? Good. And then bring your interlaced hands to the outside of your left hip and let them sort of rest there. Let the shoulders melt away from the ears, and then without much energy at all, let your left ear melt toward your left shoulder. Avoid the urge to let the chin drop towards the chest or let the gaze go up. Can you keep your gaze forward? Inhale to come through center. Switch your hands to the outside of your right hip. Good. Let the shoulders rest away from the ears, and then letting gravity do most of the work here. Let your right ear drip towards your right shoulder. Lengthening through the left side of the neck. Right, not using your muscles to really crane your neck, just letting it hang pretty passively. Inhale to come through center, release the arms. And from here, I'm just going to adjust so you can see me a little bit better. You can walk your hands forward, roll over your knees to come to a tabletop position. If you had any props that you were using, just slide them off to the side. And in tabletop, the fingers will spread really wide. Index finger, pointer finger is facing the top of the mat. Stack your wrists directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips tuck your toes. Good. Reach the crown of your head forward, come to a flat back here. And then as you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, your gaze, your tailbone. And imagine that you could hold an acorn between your shoulder blades. The collarbones are spreading wide, arms are nice and straight. Avoid the urge to let them bend here. And on your exhale, press the earth away, round, dome the upper back, lift your belly button, tuck chin to chest, tuck your tailbone, and then we'll move with our breath. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, the gaze, let the shoulder blades melt together. Exhale, round. Lift the belly button firmly, press into all 10 finger tops. Good. A couple more rounds here. Take it at your pace. Let your breath initiate the movement. Last round. We'll meet in a neutral spine with the fingers spread really wide and the toes tucked. Lift your knees and then send your hips back and up for downward facing dog. You may want to give yourself a little more space by stepping your feet back. Your feet are about 2 fist width distance apart. And the heels can absolutely stay lifted. The knees can absolutely stay bent. What we're looking to achieve is a nice long spine here. As you settle into this pose, take a few moments to maybe pedal out the feet if that feels nice. Maybe you sway your hips side to side. And maybe over time, the heels come to the floor, maybe not. Even if you have the flexibility to straighten your legs, avoid the urge. Keep a soft bend in the knees for today. Good. On your next inhale, lift your heels, come to your tippy toes. On your exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and take a slow walk to the top of the mat. Feet come hips width distance. On your inhale, bring hands to shins, come to horizon pose, flat back. Hands press into legs, legs press back into hands. Crown of the head reaches forward and your gaze is down towards the floor. Again, the knees can stay as bent as you'd like in this pose. And then we'll move with our breath. Exhale, forward fold, tuck chin to chest. Knees can always stay bent. Inhale, horizon pose, flat back. Exhale, fold, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, horizon pose, flat back. Exhale, hinge at the hips to fold forward. And on your inhale, come all the way up to stand. Stand strong through the legs, arms sweep overhead. Now you may not be able to see me in this frame, but I'll talk you through this. Arms are reaching overhead, fingertips to the ceiling. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. As you inhale, grow taller. And as you exhale, side bend to the right. Let your hips slide to the left as a counterbalance. Here we're opening the left side body. Inhale to come through center and switch your grip. Left hand takes hold of right wrist. Inhale to grow taller first. Exhale, side bend left. You can use the traction of your left hand gently pulling on your right arm to stabilize and increase the stretch. Hips are shifting off to the right. On your inhale, come back through center. Release your grip, fingertips reach to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips to fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway, hands to shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank pose. We'll only be here for a second. And then please drop your knees, keeping your hips high. Melt your chest between your hands. Let your elbows bend back in space. come to knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, drop the hips, untuck the toes for baby cobra. Here the elbows are wrapping in, hands are sliding down towards your waistline, your lower ribs, tops of the feet are pressing firmly into the floor. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulders, gaze for baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. One more round. Inhale, lift chest, shoulders, gaze. Exhale to lower. From here, come to your fingertips and bring your hands wider than your mat, away from your shoulders. Think of Spider-Man climbing up a building. Elbows to the sky. Tops of the feet are still pressing firmly down to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulders, gaze. Only coming up so far that your lower back doesn't hurt at all. There should be no pinching. If you feel any discomfort in the low back, think of drawing the belly button up towards your spine. Find energy in the legs. Really press the tops of the feet down, and maybe you come down a little lower. On your exhale, lower all the way down. Twice more. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulders, gaze. Press the fingertips firmly into the floor. Exhale, lower down. Once more. Inhale, rise. Exhale to lower. Good. From here, please flip over onto your back and bend your knees. You want the soles of your feet pressed firmly into the floor. Arms are long by your side, and your heels are so close in towards your hips that you can actually touch them when your arms are long. Gaze is up towards the sky. Back of the head is resting on the floor. Both shoulders are resting heavy. And here, I want you to make sure that you keep the natural curve of your low back. So for a moment, just to understand what that feels like, draw your belly button down and press your lower back into the floor. Feel that contact. And then conversely, as you inhale, think of tipping your pelvis away from you, tailbone into the floor, kind of arching, overly arching the low back. Feel how much space is there. And then find that happy medium. So what we refer to as a neutral spine is that natural S curve. So the small of our back will be, there'll be a little bit of space. Maybe you can slide your hand underneath there. Good. And keeping that neutral spine, as you inhale, press your feet into the floor to lift your hips for bridge pose. Good. Press especially into the big toes so that your knees aren't falling out to the side. They're right in line with your hip bones. Good. Arms stay long. Press the head back in space gently to relax the front of the neck. And on your next exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Good. So mid-back, low back, hips come down last, and find your neutral spine again. We'll move with our breath. Inhale, press your feet into the floor to lift your hips. Use your whole inhale to arrive. Exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Return to a neutral spine. Inhale, rise. Exhale, melt your spine back towards the floor. Good. From here, you can either bring your hands to your body, which I find really comfortable, or your arms can come out long, whatever you like. And then heel toe your feet as wide as the mat. Let your knees knock together through center. From here, let your knees fall to the left. So your feet will sort of stay where they are. You'll make a pinwheel shape with the legs. Now it's okay, especially if that right knee doesn't reach the floor. It doesn't have to. We're looking to create length all the way from our hip to our knee on the right side. Again, let gravity do the work. We don't have to put a lot of effort into this. Make sure both shoulders are firmly planted on the floor. Inhale, bring your knees back through center. And then on your exhale, let your knees fall to the right this time. The neck is staying neutral. Gaze up towards the ceiling, or of course, the eyes can be softly closed. If you feel like you've sort of lost your connection with your breath, use this quiet moment to reconnect, right? Expanding your inhale, lengthening your exhale. Inhale to bring both knees back through center. And then heel toe your feet hips width distance once again. Preparing for bridge pose one more time. Arms are long by your side. Good. Make sure you have the natural curve of the low back, and then inhale, press into the floor to lift your hips. And we'll stay here for about 5 breaths. Option to hold the pose like this, or if you want to deepen the pose, maybe you wiggle your shoulders together underneath you, right? So the chest gets even broader, and you can interlace your hands underneath you. So again, only taking this if there's no tension in the low back, right? No need to move deeper if that's not where you are today. And then play with pressing your feet a little bit away from you to maybe increase the back bend, or dragging your feet in towards you, and just see how that feels and find the effort that works best for you. Again, front of the neck should be soft. Let the lower jaw hang softly. Relax the muscles around your eyes. If your hands are interlaced, go ahead and release the grip. And everyone, on your exhale, lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Good, extend the legs long. Inhale to sweep your arms overhead. Take like a big morning stretch. And then please flip over onto your stomach once again. From here, hands slide back to frame out your low ribs. Chin or forehead to the floor. Tops of the feet press down firmly. On your inhale, lift your chest, shoulders, gaze. Maybe for this round of Cobra, you come up a little bit higher. No need to crank the arms straight. Keeping the elbows wrapping in towards your sides. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes. And then pressing through your feet, your knees, your hands, lift up through tabletop, and then press back to downward facing dog. Good. From here, heels rise. Let your heels fall to the left. We'll come into a down dog twist. The knees can stay bent. Keep pressing your hands down and forward to keep the hips high. Inhale through center. Exhale, heels fall to the right this time. Toes pointing to the left. Good. Press really firmly into the hands. Keep the hips high. Inhale through center. From here, inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Doesn't have to go high. Exhale, draw knee to chest. And then in one step or many, bring your right foot to the top of the mat. Good, lower your back knee, untuck your back toes. If there's any discomfort in the knee, you can roll up the side of your mat or use a blanket for a little extra padding. From here, inhale, arms reach overhead for Anjayanasana, kneeling crescent lunge. Think of moving in opposite directions. As you exhale, notice the grounding of your hips towards the floor. You can bend really deeply in that right knee. And as you inhale, think of that upward moving energy, the upper body reaching towards the sky. Good. Exhale, hands frame out your front foot. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee, low runner's lunge. Keep that back leg strong and lifted. And from here, we'll open the hamstring. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to shift your hips back. Maybe the back heel drops, and you're gonna move that right leg toward straight. So I say toward straight because it absolutely doesn't have to come all the way straight. Keep it as bent as you need. Good. Inhale, bend the front knee, look forward. Exhale, shift your hips back as you move both legs towards straight. Once more, inhale, bend the right knee, look forward. Exhale to fold. Good. Inhale to come forward, plant your hands, step back through plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth. Inhale, left leg reaches back and up. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Press the top of the right foot firmly down. Draw your left foot back, your right knee forward without moving in space. Inhale, arms rise. Kneeling crescent lunge. No need to lift the gaze or arch the back. You can invite a back bend here, but you don't need to. To get more of a stretch in the opening of the front hip, you can draw the lower ribs back in space. Good. Exhale, hands frame out your front foot, tuck the back toes, lift your back knee, low runner's lunge. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, shift your hips back as you work both legs toward straight. With your breath, inhale, bend the front knee, look forward. Exhale, shift your hips back and fold. One more time, inhale, come forward. Exhale, shift your hips back. Left leg works towards straight. Good. Inhale through low lunge. Plant your hands. Step back through plank pose, then downward facing dog. Good. From here, drop your knees, bring them as wide as the mat. Coming into child's pose, your big toes will touch as your hips shift back towards your heels, and your forehead can rest on a block, a stack of books, or the floor. Fingertips are reaching forward. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale. If there's any tension in the hips or knees, you can always add a blanket rolled up between your thighs and calves for a little extra support. And from here, allow yourself to soften into the floor, to feel supported and to feel easeful. On your next inhale, use your core to slowly stack your spine, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Good. From here, shift your hips off to one side and bring your legs forward. Moving into a wide leg forward fold. Bring your legs out into a V. It doesn't have to be really wide. Flex your feet so toes are pointing to the sky and the legs are really activated, so flex through the thighs. And then bring both hands behind you for support. Here, use your fingertips to lengthen the spine and take out any rounding that may be happening in the back. Continue to work right here if this feels nice. Or another option is to walk your fingertips forward and hinge at the hips. Please though, however, don't dome the back. If you find that that's happening, maybe take a step back and keep working here. If you can keep the spine long, maybe you reach the fingertips forward. If you want to go a little further, just an option, you can bring forearms to the floor. Wherever you are, flexing through the feet, pressing through the heels, lengthening the spine. And then notice if you're holding any tension that you don't need. Are you furrowing your brow? Can you create a little more space there? Is your tongue pressing into the roof of your mouth? Can you let that go? Good. Use your inhale to slowly stack the spine if you are folded forward. We'll meet with a tall spine, and then go ahead and kind of shimmy the legs together. Take your time. And then bend both knees, plant the soles of your feet onto the floor. Bring your hands behind you, thumbs pointing in towards your hips, fingertips pointing out to the side. You want about a foot or so behind your hips. And then as you inhale, press into your hands and feet to lift your hips for a reverse tabletop. Think of your knees, hips, and shoulders in a nice straight line. And you can keep the chin tucked. If you have no tension in the neck, you can let the head hang back. It's up to you. Good. Everyone exhale to lower the hips first. Then stack the spine, head will come up last. Really good. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees kind of fall open. Now, if they're a little high, that's okay. Work wherever is comfortable. Then bring your hands to your feet and imagine you're opening them like a book, like you have a good read in front of you. Stack shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, and work right here if this feels nice. Option, if you'd like to take it a little further, is to hinge at the hips to fold forward. Again, avoiding any rounding in the back, and instead thinking of lengthening the spine. You can use the elbows for a little bit of traction to open the knees wider, but please only do so if you're experiencing no pain whatsoever, and as long as you can keep the spine long as you do so. Good. Inhale to come back up if you're folded forward. Bring your hands to the outside of your knees, and with almost no effort in the legs, go ahead and close your knees like a book. Extend the legs forward, shake them out for a moment. And then plant the soles of the feet down. You might want to come towards the top of your mat a little more so you have some space to lie back. The heels are out a foot or two, pretty far away from the hips. Feet are planted down, the toes are spreading. Reach your arms forward, lengthen the spine. And then tuck the tailbone, draw the belly button back, and we're gonna lower down as slow as we can, one vertebrae at a time. Really draw the belly button back. Use your core to stabilize. Can you keep your feet down on the floor? Good, lower all the way down, arms sweep overhead, extend the legs. And then draw your knees into your chest. You can bring hands to shins. You can wrap your forearms around your shins. Just make sure that the whole back and the shoulders can rest heavy on the floor. The back of the head can rest heavy. And if it feels good, rock back and forth like a playful panda for a little bit. Just massaging out the low back. Good. Option to stay here or come into happy baby. For happy baby, soles of the feet will face the ceiling, knees will come down towards the armpits, arms will reach between the legs, and then hands will come to the outside pinky toe edge of the feet. Flex through the feet like you could leave a footprint on the ceiling. And then use the weight of your arms to just draw the knees closer to the floor. You can be still in this pose or rock back and forth. Take as much time here as you like, right? I don't want to rush you. If you want to keep moving forward, draw your feet towards one another. Keep the knees wide. I like to grab onto my ankles and just let my legs hang. Good, the legs are restful. The grip of your hands are holding them in place. Then moving as slow as you'd like to, extend the legs long. Please bring your feet as wide as the mat. Take a moment to get nice and comfortable here. Maybe you have a rolled up blanket that you'd like to place under your knees. Maybe you'd like to get a blanket and place it over you for a little extra warmth. Do whatever you need to get comfortable in your final resting pose. Arms are long by your side. Bring them away from your body, and please bring your palms to face up. Let your toes fall out to the sides. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Releasing the physical body. Letting go of any intentional breathing. The eyes are softly closed for Shavasana. Let the lower jaw hang heavy. Imagine that your eyes could sink even farther back in their sockets. Bring your attention to your heels. Feel their weight on the floor. Notice the heaviness of your calves, the backs of your thighs, your hips resting on the floor. Bring your attention to the backs of your hands, your elbows, the backs of your arms, your shoulders, completely supported by the earth. Your upper back touching the floor. The back of your head resting heavy. Give yourself permission to let go. Enjoy a deeper breath in. And as the breath expands, begin to make small movements of the physical body, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. If it feels nice, maybe you gently rock your head side to side, just letting it roll heavy across the floor. Inhale to sweep your arms overhead, and then bending one knee at a time, roll to one side. Keeping the eyes softly closed, use your top hand to press up to any comfortable seat. As you arrive, stacking shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Gather your palms together at heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Notice the beat of your own heart. Thank you all so much for joining me for practice. Namaste. Thank you.